Welcome back to day 3 of the Trans-Pacific Futsal Cup. First game of the day tonight is the Futsal Ferns versus the New Caledonian women's team. Obviously, the Futsal Ferns having won the first 2 games comprehensively, 14-0 and 15-0. So this is a chance for New Caledonia to leave with a more positive outlook from this tour. Starting 5 for the Ferns tonight: Boxall in goal, Ella James, Jessica Verdon, TJ Line Lewis, and Hannah Robert. Robert and Line Lewis both hitting the score sheet last night. It'll be Verdon and Line Lewis to kick off. And we're underway. Robert on the ball early, looking to take a player on one-on-one. Into James now. Looks for Don. The ball doesn't come off early. Early encouragement for New Caledonia. Chance early for Robert. She goes for the placement. Unfortunately, goes wide this time.
Yeah, she shaped up well, Sam. Opened out her body, just didn't quite get the placement right. 4 resets with Ella James. Ooh, and another chance there. Jess Verdon just shoots wide herself. Ball over the top and easily dealt with by Ella James.
For John, looking for Robert, but it's cut out. John recovers to clear it out. New Caledonia have a kick in. That'll be Poiter on the ball. Robert with the kick in for New Zealand now. Into James.
So Sam, what do you feel New Zealand's approach will be to this game today? Having won the first 2 games and taken the series home already?
Well, from having talked to Nick Downs, the Futsal Ferns coach last night, his message was very clear that they want to keep going in the same vein and look to score more goals and obviously get a win, but at the same time want to experiment, try a couple things out and look to put certain combinations into practice so that in the future, when they return to play other teams, they'll have a more familiar picture.
Yeah, exactly, Sam. And I think it's safe to say now that New Zealand have proven themselves a dominant force against this New Caledonian team so far. I think it's important that they use this as an opportunity now to build on what they've been practicing on in their training camps.
It was clear from talking to Nick Downs that they've got a couple different systems they're trying to put in. Both playing with a target and fluid rotation without a target, looking to make space in behind. And they'll be looking to use both of those tonight and pinpoint weaknesses they'll need to work on in future camps before they come up against some stronger nations.
It's quite a good approach, Sam, because I think when they come up against slightly harder opposition, it might be very beneficial to have some go-tos. For example, if one team is setting up in a certain way defensively and they need breaking down, maybe it's a time to put on their rotating attacking 4. And then perhaps at times they are under a bit more pressure, maybe they need to resort to a 4 that likes to keep the ball a bit better, get out of a press.
Line Lewis with the ball now. Given away, but she recovers well. Ball forward into the New Caledonian number 7, tighter but doesn't quite come off this time. Robert now. Spreads it wide. Ella James. Good defending there from the New Caledonian number 5, Wap.
One difference I'm seeing here, Sam, between especially the first night and the second night a bit compared to tonight, is that there are times where the Ferns find themselves in quite clear, there we go, we've got a goal here. Lion Lewis, great finish. Pretty much like I was just saying, Sam, instead of going for those outright shooting opportunities a bit further out, they're looking for those passes to get themselves closer in, and like we can see here from this goal from Lion Lewis, it's a really good way in futsal to try and ensure that you get a good shot on target. Whereas a lot of the times we've seen with both men's and women's games, people taking these audacious shots from further out, sometimes glance wide, or even worse, end up in the keeper's hands, which will give the possession away straight away.
It was, as you're saying, it's good that time, I believe, from Robert, rather than just lashing a shot, having the composure to look for Lion Lewis in the target position. And a great turn and shot from her. Robert on the ball again now. Into Verdon. James looks at the flick down the line. Comes off the back of Lion Lewis, and it'll be a New Caledonia kick in with the number 9, Mayan. Captain Uchu also on the court now for New Caledonia. Shot over the top that time from Robert, and it'll be a goal throw. Mayan on the ball. New Zealand looking to step and creep early and win the ball back as much as they can, and they have done so here. Space for Verdon to drive into. Looks wide for James. James drives it just wide. Number of early chances for New Zealand. Looking to follow in the same vein from the previous nights.
So we've touched on how the Ferns have adapted attacking-wise, moving forward. I think something defensively, Sam, is they've had a lot of luck, obviously, immediately pressing these New Caledonia players when they feel as though they're struggling with position. But at the moment, they're looking to slightly sit back, or right now they're creeping on a bit, but in general, so far, they've been sitting back and waiting for the ball to come to them to practice for when, again, this may happen against harder opposition, or more organised opposition, should I say.
Yeah, well, obviously, yesterday and the day before, they've been able to be smarter and less sort of tactically intelligent at times and stay high and win the ball back, because they know that technically and tactically and probably physically they're superior to the New Caledonian players. However, when they do come up against, if they come up against top countries, they'll have ways to break down if the New Zealanders aren't tactically sharp. As we a shot driven over the top there from Ella James. So for them tonight, it'll be about keeping good habits and making sure that they're prepared for the future.
Chance there for New Caledonia perhaps, and cut out. Pointer with the ball now. Cut out once again by Ella James. Driving forward to Lion Lewis. Lion Lewis with the shot, just wide. It appears that the next 4 rotation for New Zealand is warming up on the bench now, Sam.
Brittany Nicholson, Leah Gubb, Sophie Williams and Tilly James entering the court soon.
Very patient play here from the New Zealand futsal Ferns. Great thought there. A lot of noise up there in the stand, Sam, from the men's New Caledonian team.
New Caledonian men's team being very loud, supporting their women's team on as they were last night.
Great to see, Sam. Despite having lost their first 2 games and effectively being deemed out of the series at this point, they're still in very high spirits.
Yeah, well, after talking to Eric Sairiwa, the New Caledonian captain last night, he was really happy, even though they lost last night and so therefore couldn't win the trophy. He was very pleased with the New Caledonian team. He said that they're a very young side, and much like the futsalites that we're trying to do, they're building for the World Cup qualifiers in 2020, which at the end of the day is the end goal from everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And having spoken to a few people who have watched this New Caledonian side develop over the past few years, it seems to be a general consensus that they have developed quite a lot, and that the team that they had faced last, I think it was earlier, mid 2016, if that team had been as good as they are now, they would have caused New Zealand a lot more problems in those the World Cup qualifying games.
Yeah. From those who were at that Oceania champ, say that this New Caledonia team, men's team, is a lot more technical and tactically adept and play a better all-round game of futsal. So Sahiliwa and Brett William, the coach, will be very happy with that, building for the next 3 years.
Nicholson on the ball now. Sophie Williams looks up, finds Nicholson again, opens that, oh, just loses it in her feet. Great play there. Dealt with easily by Boxall. Goes short to Sophie Williams. Williams looking up. Ooh, almost finding Nicholson there again. A little bit more direct now from this foursome.
Yeah, we've got Brittany Lee Nicholson and Tilly James as well, both players who as so far in the series operated high as targets at times, so maybe they'll see more of a 2-2 approach we'll look for tonight.
This New Caledonian side looking to sit very deep, Sam. So take a bit more breaking down at this stage, I think. Nicholson on the ball. James. Tilly James cuts inside again. Beats a defender, beats another. Beats a third? No, not quite. Slight miscommunication there between Williams and Gubb. Dealt with comfortably, and then Nicholson again on the ball now. Looking for James. No, goes wide to Williams. Sophie Williams cutting inside to Gubb. Gubb flicking the ball through. Good thought there by Gubb. Just a little bit behind the run of Sophie Williams. Changes here for New Caledonia.
Kicking again now with Leah Gubb for New Zealand. So Williams looking to get a shot away on her left foot. And it's not a bad effort. Gubb with the corner. Nicholson running on for the shot. It's not a bad effort and a good save from Goman. Feature of the New Caledonian women's team so far this series, although they've led a lot of goals, has been the quality of their goalkeepers making a lot of good saves.
I was just about to say that, Sam. Totally agree with you. Ball through by Gubb. Ooh, and I think the keeper got to that, but James has found herself on the floor hurt there. She seems to be reasonably okay. The keeper apologises, of course. And she's back on her feet. And the crowd applaud. Nicholson will restart play. Williams now with the shot. And dealt with comfortably by Mendu. Sorry, by Goman.
Loose throw by Goman. So Gubb will have a kick in her defensive half. Gubb tries to see that one out. But it's good work there from the New Caledonian number 2, Poita. Gubb on the ball. Looks wide to Sophie Williams. Williams to Nicholson in space. Williams again. Driving forward, lots of time on the ball for New Zealand around the halfway line. New Caledonia allowing New Zealand to have the ball just inside their own half. Williams again, looking forward. Tries to slot Gubb through, and that's a great ball. Leah Gubb 1-on-1, round Goman and off the post. Almost a great goal there from Leah Gubb. Fantastic vision from Sophie Williams.
Yeah, great pass there, Sam. I've noticed Tilly James, Sam, is often looking to press, sometimes getting caught going by herself, which I'm sure the coaching staff, Braden Lissington and Nick Downs, will urge her to try not to do, as it's a lot more effective going as a team. But it's really positive to see that she's always really keen to win the ball, and there's a lot of energy in those presses that she's giving.
Yeah, and that was a feature. There's been a feature of both the national teams so far, the Futsal Whites as well. Even when they were winning with a couple minutes to go against New Caledonia. In both games, they were still eager to creep forward as they could, set up and make sure they're not being early, and then look to creep forward and win the ball back high and create chances that way. The Futsal Ferns have had a lot of success with that so far, as we mentioned earlier, this series, and they'll look to continue that. And it's always a work in progress. Obviously, this is the first time they've played together, so they'll no doubt get better at that as time goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess it's largely tied up with New Zealand football overall. Their vision of how we want our teams to play, Sam, is to be really positive moving forward, wanting to win the ball back as soon as possible, and when in doing so, maintain possession. And you can definitely tell that the work by Nick Downs and Braden Listening behind the scenes is on par with this way of playing, Sam. Looking very effective. Yeah,
definitely. They've improved each night. We saw the first night at times the game got a bit hectic and New Zealand struggled to keep possession through, I guess, an unorthodox, strange way of New Caledonia playing. But as the tournament's gone on, the Futsal Ferns have become a lot better at keeping possession and being very patient on the ball. Nicholson with the block, now into Mayan. Chili James flies in, Mayan slips over. James with the chance here, looks for Nicholson. Nicholson can't quite find the target. 11 minutes and 2 seconds on the clock. It's still 1-0 to New Zealand. It's Garb watches that one back to Boxall and goal.
Maxine Cooper on the court now. Prolific goal scorer Maxine Cooper. Will not be surprised to see her get a lot more in her time spent with the Futsal Ferns, Sam. Very exciting prospect for the future. I've seen her play outside of international futsal before it had come about, playing for Auckland University, at the University Championships, and also in various other competitions, and she shows a lot of promise again as well for Auckland Futsal and the Women's National League. Ooh. Not quite capitalised on by Poiter there.
Williams with another great ball forward. Nicholson can't quite get that one under control, and we have a substitution. Shivy Anthony entering the court. Anthony been very solid so far in the fixo position, also from Auckland Futsal. Hannah Crackman looking like she's about to enter the game. Another from Auckland. Nicholson pressuring, looking to win the ball back. Mayan on the ball now.
Although a lot of these players are new playing together, Sam, there is a sort of familiar core. Hey, what a finish there by Nicholson. Very tidy. Bit of an angle there too. And the end looked a bit too easy. Like I was saying before, Sam, there's a bit of a core of players. I think the four that are outfield right now have played a lot together. Nick Downs having coached, I think, 6 of these players in the Ferns now in Brazil at the World University Championships. Rivelina Fuyamanu, Shiv Anthony, Jess Verdon, Dana Minnick, and Hannah Crackman, and also Hannah Robert. All played for New Zealand in those games. Did a very good job too. And most of those players also play together for Auckland Futsal. Hannah Crackman on the ball. Again, having seen some of those games over in Brazil, Sam, Hannah Crackman showed a lot of promise. Some of the best players in the world she's up against, and she still skipped around them like she's doing here. Scored a pretty crucial goal as well against the eventual winners, Brazil, Sam. New Zealand actually going up 2-0 in that game at some point, but eventually not quite making it over the line. I can't quite remember the score, but it wasn't quite 2-0 to New Zealand, put it that way. All right, and we have gotten to 8 minutes and 51 seconds on the clock now. Flying reasonably fast. A lot of possession by New Zealand. Crackman with the corner now. To Anthony, and Anthony blasts over. And there's a timeout there, I think called from the New Caledonia bench. New Zealand Futsal Ferns looking quite relaxed right now. I think their main focus appears to just be, like you said, Sam, the discipline and maintaining the right habits and just developing their playing style for when they eventually approach teams that may eventually challenge them a little bit more. Braden Lissington on the bench there giving some tactical advice to the girls on the bench. And we're back underway here. Goman to distribute the ball. Opts for the long option. Dealt with easily by Shiv Anthony. Dana Manick now, slowing it down. And the Crackman looking forward as always. Skips past the defender. Opens out, looking for the shot. Ooh, and just goes to dink it there, Sam. Quite intricate. I think maybe a little bit more power and it's definitely a goal.
Yeah, I don't know whether she was trying to pick out Manick there floating, making a good run through, but space for Shivy Anthony for the shot. And that's blocked again. New Zealand building a lot of pressure now. Cooper with the press and wins a kick in again for New Zealand. Crackman will take it. This four, all familiar, playing together, club futsal in Auckland. Anthony on the ball. Dana Manick now. Time and space for her to drive forward. Looks back for Anthony and makes a good run forward. New Zealand improving their rotation now. Anthony beats one and she's through here. It's a great save there from Goman. Chevy Anthony's had a lot of success the last couple of nights driving forward from that fixo position and taking players on. Offering a different type of threat. Manick on the ball now. Looks line for Cooper. And that's another good save from Goman.
Cooper there just injecting a whole lot of pace there, Sam.
The incision of the runs from New Zealand seems to be something that's raised in intensity tonight. Last night at times in the first half they were found trying to set a slower tempo so they could control the game for their rotations, but without being able to click into gear, whereas tonight they're picking their moments and then making bursting runs, as we're seeing from Crackman down the line there.
Here we go, Dana Manick on the break, and well dealt with by Goman. Crackman on the follow-up, saved again. Yeah, Sam, just to follow on what you're saying, you can tell that these the four out here for the Ferns are really putting thought into their decisions before they play a pass. They're getting their heads up and they're looking for the options there. Yeah, very reflective of the fact that these girls have played together before and they have the ability to go for a particular strategy, whereas some of the girls who are less familiar, I guess for them the messages will be a lot more simple, just, you know, play the basics. But these guys are looking to be really organised at this stage, really comfortable playing together. Crackman with a shot. Last just wide again.
And that's great hold-up play from Maxine Cooper in the target position and a good ball in from Hannah Crackman. Nick Downs made it clear last night after their game that target play was one of the facets they'd worked on in the recent training camp. And I know there'd been a massive push in improving that each night. Starting to come to fruition here.
Cooper with the ball. Back to goal. Anthony on the follow-up. Cut up. Box will just calling for calm there. She deals with it comfortably and plays it to Manick. Ball through from Crackman there on the follow-up. And this time again, just cut up by New Caledonia. Very unlucky. At this rate, surely Crackman will end up with a goal soon, Sam.
Corner to New Zealand now. Crackman drives it across. Cooper can't quite bring that one down. It'll be a kick into New Caledonia. Direct play again from New Caledonia, but that's easy for Michaela Boxall. Next set of players warming up behind the bench for New Zealand. Robert, Verdon and Williams.
I think Chivy Anthony's just taken a boot to the face there, Sam. Could hear that one from here. She seems to be okay. She's gotten right up. And the crowd applauds her. Crackman now. When gets through with the shot. Ooh, once again, Sam, just glancing wide. Very good play from this four at the moment. They're all looking to do the right things. I just think the final product's not coming off of them. And to be fair, with nothing really on the line for this game, I guess the way they're playing is a bit more important. I think Nick Downs will be very happy with the way that they're playing right now. I don't think the scoreline's going to bother him whatsoever. Obviously, I think it would be great for them to keep a clean sheet throughout the whole series. Crackman now, one-on-one, skips around them. Ooh, again cut out.
Unlucky again there for Crackman. Great feint to throw the keeper to the ground. Can't quite find the finish. His last ditch defending from New Caledonia keeps New Zealand out again. Cooper with a shot and another good save from Goman. 5 minutes 29 on the clock. 3/4 of the way through the first half. Verdon on the court now, entering for Crackman. Verdon another base in Auckland.
Yes, I think you're right there, Sam. Ooh, decent shot there from Manik. Well dealt with by Goman. Yeah, like I said, Sam, I think the four out there, outfield for the Ferns right now are all based in Auckland, playing for Auckland Futsal. Verdon with a shot. Gotta say, keeper Goman is doing very well, but when she's not quite there to deal with the shots, the defenders are doing a really good job at getting behind the ball, Sam. I think Coach Brett William will be very happy with their work rate, and it's reflective on the scoreline too.
Yeah, definitely. I think we can clearly say that New Caledonia women's team have improved a lot over the last 3 nights. Especially defensively, it's improved drastically from the first game where they were often caught from far out of position, but they've been sitting a little deeper last night and tonight, and they found a bit more success in being able to block shots and block through balls in that vein. Brittany Lee Nicholson on the court again now, and that's a good free kick. Goal for Chivy Anthony, her first for the Futsal Ferns, I believe.
I think it is. Congratulations, Chivy Anthony. Much deserved. She's been outstanding, Sam, so far with this series. Been a fantastic contributor, both defensively and creativity-wise. But at the moment, she's got herself a goal, and she'll be over the moon with that. And I think you can tell the rest of the team is also.
Yeah, she's been phenomenal the last couple of days. Nicholson in again here. Well out of the line there by Goman. New Caledonia will be careful. They don't want to be careful. They don't want to let in a couple really quickly like they did last night. They conceded 3 in the space of 2 or 3 minutes. Cooper looks in for Nicholson. Good turn from Nicholson, but then good defending from New Caledonia.
Verdon on the ball now. Maxine Cooper calling for the ball to be played back to her. Nicholson goes for it, but the ball is cut out here. And Maxine Cooper battles to get it back. Great job. And that's a goal there for New Caledonia. Number 5, Oi. Congratulations, New Caledonia. Sorry, my apologies. Number 5, what? Congratulations, New Caledonia. What a finish too.
First ever goal for the New Caledonian women's team. They'll be very happy with that one. They're back in 3-1 now. That'll be a massive relief for them. As the New Caledonian men's team start to make a lot of noises again now. They look to get behind their women's team and see if they can get back into this game. Nicholson on the ball. To Cooper. New Zealand looking to settle back down to possession. That's a good run from Verdon. She's in here, and another good save from Goman.
This New Caledonian side showing a lot more improvement here, Sam. making for a great game so far. Anthony opts to leave it. Nicholson goes for the shot. Wasn't too far from the top corner there. One criticism I'd have to make so far, Sam, the fact that the New Zealand Futsal Ferns are opting to sit back further at halfway. I feel as though perhaps New Caledonia, instead of launching the ball forward every time from the keeper, or most times, they could look to try and practice building up from the back there. I think they've got it in them. It's just that New Zealand was making it very hard for them in previous games with a very good press.
They've shown a lot of promise in the last 2 nights. At times they've shown glimpses that they do have the ability, and then glimpses where times where Brett William will be very, very disappointed in it. But they're still growing, and that's a good ball in there into the target. Number 13, Saw May, but she gives it away. Nicholson going 1-on-1 at Uchu. Nicholson with a shot, and that's a good block there from Uchu. Good defending from the captain. She's been a stalwart for this team over the last couple of nights. As Cooper takes a break and Hannah Robert enters the court again. Very impressive last night. Nicholson into Williams. Back to Nicholson.
Pass astray there from Robert. A lot of energy and pace injected into this game from that goal, Sam. I think it's just what we needed, really.
Yeah, we're in danger of the game getting very one-sided again in terms of the scoreline. But it'll be massive encouragement for New Caledonia. Having scored now, they'll be encouraged that they can. Why can't they go on and do it again? Stumble there from Sophie Williams. Pass slightly behind from Verdon. Can't quite keep it in, and New Caledonia have a kick in. New Zealand set up in their own half, getting behind the ball. Good block though from Verdon. Battling for it. Robert now. Williams. Good switch ball from Williams. Very good at passing off both feet.
Absolutely, Sam. She's impressed me quite a lot so far in the series. Gotta say, I haven't seen her play too much before this, if at all, but yeah, she's really stood out to me with a great eye for a pass and great futsal technique at the stage. Speaking of futsal technique, Hannah Robert, despite that pass just there, of course, she's been showing very good futsal technique, Sam. The way she receives the ball and opens out, she forces the defenders to stop dead in their tracks, which gives her the option to either play the ball down the line or roll back in and get a rotation started up.
Yeah, she's very, very smart with her body feints and the way she moves the ball to create herself an extra yard of space, which at the higher levels of futsal is critical, especially when teams are very good at pressing. Verdon on the ball now. Given away. And that's it. The unlucky foul there from Verdon. I think she just stumbled into the back of her. No malice in that one.
How are we looking for fouls, Sam?
New Caledonia now sitting on 3 fouls. New Zealand sitting on 1. Only 1:55 left on the clock, so and no danger of 10-minute penalties this half. Mayan gets a shot away. Good block there from Robert. Verdon. Good win there from Verdon. Good strength. She drives forward in some space. Finds Nicholson. Slightly behind Robert. Another missed chance there for the Futsal Ferns.
Verdon with a chance there. And Goldman deals with it. Number 11 now. James. Few passes being hit astray here, Sam. What do you think this might be?
Yeah, the last couple minutes got a bit hectic. Mayan on the ball now.
And Verdon now. I think, is that her 3rd or 4th goal of the series so far, Sam? Regardless, the way she is finishing in the series is so silky. She just picks her spot and just slots it.
She's been one of the frequent goal scorers for the Futsal Ferns. Massive danger going forward. Brittany Nicholson takes a rest. TJ Lyon Lewis back onto the court now.
think we'll start to see the Ferns playing a little bit more direct now, Sam. Players like Robert linking up with Lion Lewis. Lion Lewis with the turn and the shot. Ooh, if she had connected with that, it would have been a very good effort. Unfortunately, it's a very difficult shot to get off, Sam, I have to admit.
Yeah, good idea there from Lion Lewis. Good intelligence. Try to take the shot early before the defender and the keeper are set and ready to block it. Tilly James back on the court. Robert to Ella James. Looks for a through ball. That one's not quite there. They'll have a kick in though.
Once again, Sam, pretty decent crowd.
Yeah, it's building. People are still climbing in. It's a bit small at the start, but people are piling in now. Obviously another game later on tonight. As people finish work and finish at the Ames game sports they will have been actually during the day. And that's a good shot there from Lion Lewis. Just wide. Goman looks for the early release. But New Zealand play out of it sharply.
Robert, cut across to Lion Lewis. Lion Lewis on her favoured right foot, across the goal. Ooh, and Tilly James couldn't quite get on the end of it. Yes, Sam, so just again, Omen opting for the long throw over the top, as she's doing now. And it's not quite paying off. I think, especially with players like Ella James there, I don't think that these New Caledonia players are going to be able to bring the ball down effectively under that kind of pressure. I personally think they should be trying to play the ball on the ground from the back there. They're just giving it away straight away.
Well, New Zealand have a lot of good fixos in this squad. Their depth is really good. And all of them are very good physically and very intelligent in positioning themselves right to win this ball.
I tell you what, there's a lot of good players, good female players in the New Zealand futsal game at the moment, and I do not envy the task that Nick Downs had in picking this team, Sam. There are a lot of very talented young women out there, and I think personally he's done a very good job, especially what him and Braden Lissington have done behind the scenes and getting them to gel together so quickly. But yeah, it shows at the moment the quality that's come through.
Yeah, obviously a lot of them would have known each other very well coming into this, but by the looks of it on the court, they all get on very well, and they've got a very strong team culture built.
Yeah, well, having spoken to Nick Downs just before the game, actually, he was saying a few mixed emotions among the team in the training room, Sam, as they have all gone together quite well as a very tight unit.
We see that's half time. New Caledonian bench appealing for a foul just before the buzzer went, but we'll call it there. The men seem not happy. So there we have it, first half of the game 3 of the Women's Trans-Pacific Futsal Cup over. Half-time score, the Futsal Ferns 4, New Caledonian Women's Team 1. Join us back in 15 minutes for coverage of the second half. And we're back for the second half of Game 3 between the Futsal Ferns and the New Caledonian Women's Team. New Caledonia entering the court, start the second half. Starting 5 for New Zealand, Boxall in goal, Gubb, Cooper, Anthony and Crackman. For New Caledonia, it's Poita, Poicha, number 9, Mayan, and the number 6, Toybat.
Slightly changed 4 here, Sam, with Leah Gubb stepping in place of, I believe, Dana Manak. So it looks like Braden Lissington and Nick Downs have opted to change the formations up a little bit.
Obviously they're going to be trying out different styles of play, different combinations, see who works best together for future games. But Gubb should fit in with us four with her style of play. She likes to go forward, take players on, and she likes to pass and move and get good rotations going.
Yeah, she's a quality player, Sam. She can fit into any sort of situation. And we're off. Crackman asking, oh, and there's a bit of a challenge here on Shivi Anthony again, taken down to the ground. Once again, she gets back up. Number 9, Harmon, taking a little bit longer though. Referee's called for a hold. Apologies, number 9, Mayan. Member of the staff just going over to see if she's okay. It appears that she is going to hobble off and be replaced by number 12. Farahi. And we're off again. Shiv Anthony to Leah Gubb. Gubb opens out. Maxine Cooper now plays back to Gubb. Good position here by the Futsal Ferns, just as I speak. Appears as though the Ferns are opting for a bit more of a press this half, Sam.
Cooper goes in there with Crackman looking to win the ball back early. And they've got a kick in for their work. Mind getting some treatment from Coach Brett Williams behind the bench. What do you think Brett Williams' team talk would have been at half-time, Dom?
I'd imagine just a lot of words of encouragement, Sam. Just, well done on the improved performance relative to the previous two first halves, should I say. And just more of the same, I guess. Just, keep up the high spirits, keep up the high industry, and getting back to back the keeper up. And I hope he had looked for a few technical routes as to how they could look to keep the ball a little bit better, Sam. Potentially move the Ferns' defence around a little bit.
They seem to have begun the half by sitting even deeper in defence, now sitting behind halfway. Crackman, good skill from her. Opts to start again with Anthony, good patience. Ball into Maxine Cooper, the target. Anthony with a fake, gets a shot away. And it's a good block there from the number 12, Galahi. Crackman on the ball again.
Crackman into Cooper. Cooper gets the ball back to Gubb. Looking to go forward, but makes a wise decision in playing back to Anthony, who then spreads it to Crackman, who gives it away. A little bit of a mix-up between her and Maxine Cooper.
New Zealand drop back to halfway to set up their defence. They'll look to creep forward and win the ball back when they can. And here they go again, looking for the triggers. Ball forward now, searching for Galahi.
Jess Verdon onto the court now for the Ferns.
Jess Verdon on for Crackman as the other three of the next quartet start warming up for New Zealand. Williams, Brittany Nicholson, and Dana Manak. Good battling there from Maxine Cooper, and she wins a corner.
Superb turn there from Maxine Cooper. Gubb finds her in the middle there. Can't quite get a shot off.
And goal there from Maxine Cooper.
I believe her fourth of the series, Sam. Failed to score yesterday with a hat-trick in the first game.
Starting off where she left from the National League.
Boxer calling for it and chucking a little bit of a chest on the ball as well. Verdon opens out. Great technique shown by these Futsal Ferns players, Sam, in keeping the ball. Gubb looking forward as always. Dealt with well by Verdon. Excellent movement off the ball here by the Ferns as they look to find an opening.
Nice and patient play from them, picking their moments. That's a good flick there from Manak. No advantage played, and she'll get the free kick.
17 minutes and 2 seconds left on the clock. What set piece will we see here from the Ferns? They seem to be quite well drilled with the set pieces in this series. And they opt for the first time shot from Verdon there, which is sprayed wide. Not a good distribution there by Goman. Feel as though she should have opted for the underarm throw. Place the ball on the ground, have it rolling there, easier for the player to control. Instead she's throwing it in front of her, giving the momentum in favour of Jess Verdon. Great first touch there by Nicholson as she enters the court. Sophie Williams now. Verdon opens out, finds Nicholson, acres of space. Nicholson, should we play across? So into the keeper's hands. And a goal there for New Caledonia. The bench goes wild. Bit of an error there from Michaela Boxall, I think, Sam.
Another mix-up in defence. And New Caledonia take full advantage with the number 6 Toybat getting on the score sheet. Much improved performance tonight from New Caledonia, and it's paid off for them.
Nicholson now. Williams drives forward. Gets a shot off. Not a bad one too. Was there a touch from Goman? Referee says no. Again, Goman launching it over the top. Dealt with decently well by Poiter, who then breaks down the right-hand flank and gets a shot across the goal. Not threatening Michaela Boxall this time. Gone for a kick in, I believe. So again, the second goal for New Caledonia is again injected a bit of energy into their camp. The bench looking very lively. Shot there from Williams. Nicholson tries to capitalise on the rebound, but the defender's clear. Dealt with well there by Verdon. Shot glanced over. Long throw once again by Goman, and just too easy for New Zealand. Position straight back in their hands. Really liking the movement here from this four for New Zealand. Not always on the same page, but individually all looking to find where the space is, move the defenders around and make it hard for them to keep track. A little mix up there at the back for New Caledonia results in clearance, which again given straight back to the New Zealand team.
Manak on the ball now. Looks for Don. Williams. Plays and makes a good run down the line. Nicholson now looks in for Manak in the target position. Good turn from Manak. Finds a pass off to Verdon. Nicholson with a good turn, gets a shot away, but that's easy for Goman. New Caledonia break another counter-attack forward, but Toybat can't bring that one down. Manak with the ball.
Sam, I have to say that overall, for the Ferns' development moving forward, it's a very good thing that New Caledonia are very high in spirits and putting up a good fight, and in turn not allowing them to score as easily as they have been in the first two games. Had it been the same as the first two games, I think some of these girls may have gone on to the next game with a bit of a different expectation, and I think being humbled a little bit in terms of what they need to work on can be very beneficial for them.
Yeah, well, obviously, the time for a national team is limited together, especially New Zealand with players spread all around the country. And this team, we have players as far south as Christchurch and as far north as Auckland. So their time playing together is limited, so they have to make the most of it. And every game is a great opportunity to learn and improve. And a close game is the best opportunity for that. Because Williams gets forward, and she finds the back of the net for the Futsal Ferns.
Look, Sam, it was a great finish by Williams, but that ball through by Nicholson as well, just as good. Quality, incisive play. This is where they're really good, Sam. You can tell that they're trying to work the ball around and score sort of more back post-esque goals, but when they are forced to go direct and they opt for it, they look very good. Good haggle there from Nicholson. Sam, is this Sophie Williams' first goal?
I believe so, from the information we've been provided. If that's correct, then that'll be huge for her. Menak takes a rest. Hannah Robert back on the court. She'll look to add a bit of energy to the New Zealand game. Bring up the ball movement a little bit. Crisp passing for Don now. Ball into Nicholson, can't quite make it stick. That's forward from Mayan. Good defence by TJ Lewis. Just onto the court. Starts very well. Tilly James also in the game now, as well as Ella James. Full quartet swap for New Zealand.
Ooh, shot fizzed in there by Torian Lewis. New Caledonia looks to break. Oh, and a bit of a nutmeg there from Robert. Very nice. Robert on the follow-up. And dealt with bravely by Goman. Crowd continues to grow here at the Bay Park Arena in Tauranga. Of course, immediately after this game at 8:30 p.m, we'll be featuring the New Zealand Futsal Whites men's team versus the New Caledonia men's team. Futsal Whites claiming the title with their second win last night in the series. But again, I think, as with this game, the New Caledonia team will be up for the fight. It'll be a very intense affair. Referee, they're just asking the New Caledonia players, actually two of the players there, one from New Zealand, just to keep their arms down. Tends to happen quite a lot in futsal. Great tackle there by James. Great energy shown from her.
11 minutes, 43 seconds left on the clock. Ella James drives forward. New Zealand sitting with a comfortable buffer of 6 goals to 2. Tilly James now. Starts again with Robert. New Zealand looking to set up an attack around halfway. Lane Lewis. Fires one to the back stick, but there's no one there. It'll be with Goman for a goal throw. James now with the ball. Out to Robert. Robert with space to drive into. So James in the middle. Good showing there from James. Looking for the diagonal ball, and Lane Lewis gets on the end of it. Goman flies in. Lane Lewis can't quite direct that one on target. Good defensive shift from Tilly James to get back and block that one. Robert wins a header. Good strength from Line Lewis. She drives forward, looking to go one-on-one. Can she get a shot away? Looks to slip Robert, but it's just behind her. Kicking now with Pucha. Robert goes one-on-one, fires it past the near post. Good feet there from the number 5. Wap, she beats a man, who gives the ball away. New Zealand break again. Can't quite find James at the back post. Robert, Maxine Cooper now back on the court. James looks down the line. And that'll be easy for Goman in the goal. Launches it long now. Wap, out off Wap. Robert wins a kick-in. Poida enters the game for New Caledonia. Ella James driving one-on-one, looks to get a shot away. It's a good block from Pucha. Start again.
A lot of talk there from Maxine Cooper at the back, trying to organise the troops. Very experienced player.
We're into the last quarter of the game now, 9 minutes, 24 seconds on the clock. Ella James driving forward, finds Robert. Switches for Ella James, looking to go one-on-one. Finds Cooper.
One thing I'm noticing with Tilly James there is she's quite smart. She's recognising when players are wanting to cut in and take a shot or go on the outside, and she'll identify which way and she'll run the opposite way, therefore taking her defender with her, creating extra space.
Yeah, that was another tactic that Nick Downs talked about in his interview last night. Was working with Tilly James to isolate flankers. He feels that's something she's very good at, recognising those triggers, and that'll be something they'll look to build on. The likes of Robert, Verdon, Manak, people who are good in one-on-one situations, create them opportunities to score some goals. Direct approach again from New Caledonia. Doesn't pay dividends this time with Boxall in goal. Robert takes a sub. Gubb enters the court as does Shivy Anthony and Hannah Crackman, the captain. Crackman finds Cooper at the target, lays off. Crackman in here, that would have been a great goal for New Zealand.
A lot of what Nick Downs and Braden Lissington have tried to implement with their team has been quite simple stuff, this being a very new team. The first time we've had an international women's team in New Zealand. But some of the things that are a little bit more advanced that are proving very beneficial to this team are aspects of the game where the players look to knock the ball into the target and run at them. Although it sounds like a simple concept, to get that flowing in a game between people linking up is actually quite difficult, and Hannah Crackman is doing that superbly well with a number of players.
As is Maxine Cooper in the target position, laying it off. She seems to have grown into that role over the last couple of days. She's been a prolific goal scorer for a long time, but she's learning very well how to lay it off for other players. She seems to be getting a lot stronger at holding the ball up and being in the right position. Gubb finds Crackman at the back post. And that's a goal for Hannah Crackman.
What a finish and what a ball. I have to admit, I thought that ball from Leah Gubb was going to get cut up, but it was inch perfect, and Hannah Crackman on the finish. That's superb.
Yeah, great reverse ball there from Leah Gubb. Flick off the outside of her foot.
The score is now 7-2 to the Futsal Ferns. 8 minutes and 6 seconds on the clock. Cooper now. Back to Anthony. Spreads it wide to Crackman. Flicks through to Anthony. Doesn't quite make it. And it's a good surging run there by Toybut, who's cut out eventually by Maxine Cooper. She's still going though, and Cooper once again. Timeout here called. It looks like perhaps New Zealand have made this timeout.
What do you think Nick Downs will be trying to implement here and talk to his team about?
To be perfectly honest, I think maybe more of the same in terms of players dictating the defenders. So moving either away towards the middle of the court or towards the outside of the court, depending on where the player in position wants to cut in to get a shot off. And just to follow up from that, they'll be looking to have the opposite player on the opposite flank looking to get back post and get on the end of the shot. If it is to glance just slightly wide of the post, then being there will effectively make the goal bigger and most likely result in an easy tap-in. Not guaranteed goal, of course, but very likely. Seven minutes and 42 seconds on the clock. Ball here with Torbut. Poicher can't quite keep the ball under control and it goes out for a New Zealand kick. Anthony now.
The quality of rotation really seems to improve when Crackman and Anthony are on the court for New Zealand. A lot more calmer, a lot more patient in possession. Doesn't quite come off that time. But New Zealand really keeping the ball well. Be a kick in now with the number 3, Poicher. Now Gubb stepping on with pressure. Anthony wins that one well. Chevy Anthony, a class act at Fixo again tonight. Poiter breaks forward. Crackman wins it. Space for Crackman to break forward. Can she get a shot away? Tries to reverse it to Gubb. Gubb appealing for a block. Referee Anthony Riley gets nothing.
Gubb slips but still maintains the ball and manages to get a decent shot off considering. But not quite on target. Anthony getting in front of her attacker there. Crackman now, great turn, great futsal technique there. Ball down the line. Crackman cutting it across. Look, Sam, they're definitely trying to do the right things here. But like we've said before in earlier games, although these concepts can be quite simple, the execution, linking up between multiple players, can be very difficult. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's easy to do it on a whiteboard and easy to talk about it from the crowd. But when you're in the heat of the moment and you're under pressure, trying to keep the ball off your marker, making that right run, getting it in the right space and taking a good touch can be very difficult in the heat of the moment.
And sometimes when you have a bit more pressure on you individually as a player, it seems to come off a little bit better. It's quite hard to do these things when you feel as though you can take a player on, you can run, you can take a shot.
Yeah, they're doing a very good job of making the right decisions and staying in good habits as Verdon enters the court. As does Brittany Nicholson and Chevy Anthony with a good shot, but saved by Goman. Goman putting in another good performance tonight. Verdon into Anthony in the corner. Starts again. Ball now with the captain, Uchu. Uchu starts again. Poicher launches it long. Uchu onto this one. Finds Toybat and a good shot there from Uchu, but saved easily by McKenna.
Sam, I've noticed here that although the tactics and the particular style of play may have changed, you know, between different quartets when they're on the court, I feel as though the overall level of play for New Zealand right now is about the same. Testament to the depth and the quality that they have in their ranks.
Yeah, definitely. I think from watching the game you can see that although they've tried out lots of different quartets, there hasn't been one. As we see a goal there from Dana Manak.
What a composed finish. She made it look easy.
Manak getting on the score sheet for the first time tonight. Going back to what we were saying before, I think, we've seen a lot of different quartets tried out by Nick Downs and Brain Lissington, but there hasn't been one that has stood out a lot above the others, and that's nothing to do with them struggling. That just shows that any player who steps onto the court for New Zealand can do a job and is a high-quality futsal player.
And like we said before, Sam, when they start to face tougher opposition, when Nick Downs and Braden Lissington identify the moments where particular quartets are more suited for the particular style of gameplay that's occurring at the time, I think, we'll start to see a bit more benefit for particular situations, whereas players who are wanting to attack constantly may not deal as well with the press, whereas they might want to, go for a clean position for players who just look to keep the ball and get out of a press.
Verdon now driving forward. Finds Manak. Under pressure. Williams. Back to Williams again from Nicholson. Nicholson in space now. Anthony Riley blows a free kick.
4 minutes and 42 seconds on the clock here.
New Caledonia up to 3 fouls now. Free kick just outside the Ds. We see Nicholson and Verdon standing in front of the ball. Manak looking on for a shot. This setup's been seen a lot by the national teams of New Zealand over the last 3 days, but they have a lot of different variations planned. It'll be interesting to see what one they do this time.
Imagining Nicholson is going to open out and hit it back post. Yes, we've seen this one before. Very effective when it comes off. And I can't quite get to it. And the ball is fired into the New Caledonia bench. Hitting their assistant coach, I think. And that plays it back now to Nicholson. And Nicholson cutting inside, getting a shot off, going in eventually, but the referee has called, what has he called, Sam?
He's called it back for a foul. I think a block there from either Verdon or Manak on one of the New Caledonian defenders, meaning they couldn't get into block Brittany Lee Nicholson's shot. But great skill there from Brittany Lee Nicholson. 2 rolls to beat 2 players for a good fire into the corner. Lucky for that one to be ruled out. Oi now back onto the court for New Caledonia. Uchu, great turn from Uchu there to beat Dana Manak. Driving forward with the ball, it's a great recovery from Manak, and Williams wins it and comes clear. Nicholson can't quite keep that one in. Be a kick into New Caledonia, 4 minutes 12 left. Drawing to the final stages of this match and of the Women's Trans-Pacific Cup Series. New Zealand comfortably looking for a clean sweep here, with it leading 8 goals to 2. Williams on the ball. Good skill there from Sophie Williams.
Sophie Williams looking very solid in possession throughout the series, Sam. She just knows, whenever a player's rushing in, she just knows how to deal with it. Quick feet, but most of all, just her decision-making, where she's going to look for the pass. You can tell she's thinking about it. You can tell she's a smart player.
Yeah, she's very good at picking her moments, making the right decisions, whether to take a player on or whether to release the ball forward or whether she just needs to start again. Very comfortable and composed on the ball. And very good defensively as well. So we see the ball with Michaela Boxall into Williams. Nicholson, great flick into Manak. Good defending there from New Caledonia.
Class by Nicholson there, what a flick. The Dom with the first time shot. And another corner for the Ferns. And the clearance of the ball gets stuck up in the railing at the top of the roof here at the Bay Park Arena. The referee will have to replace the ball and it will be a kick in from the sideline. So Sam, having spoken to Nick Downs just before the game, he was explaining to me there's quite a mixed emotions among the ranks. A lot of players quite sad that this is coming to a close. Apparently they're quite close-knit in such a short space of time. He described it as being quite amazing how well they're getting along, and how well it shows how well they're working together. And from our experience with the futsal ourselves, we know how important it is, right, for the team to be really close-knit and gel together really well.
Yeah, the culture's everything. In a certain quartet, if one player's off cue or one player isn't on the same page as the others, it can dramatically harm the team. That's one quarter of the team on the court at one time, not playing the same way. But we haven't seen that with any of the Ferns players at all this week.
And it came as very little surprise to me personally, because I know a few of these girls, and they're very, very nice people. They're very lovely girls. They're very good futsal players as well, and they just all have very positive attitudes. And it comes as no surprise that they're working well together. And it's really amazing to see such a solid team culture from the get-go. And no doubt great things to come from this team.
Yeah, the future looks very bright. It'll be interesting to see where this team goes next, whether they line up more friendlies against other island nations, whether New Caledonia come back into the picture again, or they look afield to potentially Asia or Europe or South America for friendlies against some of the top sides in the world. Good drive forward there by Wap. Can't quite keep that one in.
And again, I think it comes as no surprise also the fact that the community and the culture in New Zealand futsal in general is just top notch, Sam. Everybody, works together really well. Everybody puts futsal first. And again, just once again, another team's coming through, and we're seeing that shining very bright.
I think you can see it through the crowd that's in tonight. A lot of people who would have been rivals of these girls at National League level getting behind and supporting their country. Robert now with a kick in. Finds Ella James. Tilly James showing in at target. Wide to Lion Lewis. Lewis frustrated with that slip ball pass isn't coming off.
And just lastly, Sam, on the team culture, again, it comes as no surprise with the likes of Braden Lissington and Nick Downs behind the scenes, pulling the strings and working with them. Top level coaches, very good at building team culture.
Good competing there from Mayan against your opposite number, Lion Lewis. Maxine Cooper back on the court now. Cooper on the ball. Drives inside. Finds Robert. Ella James. Cooper with space to drive into. Goes one-on-one and gets a shot away. That'll fall again for Cooper. Well out by Goman. Robert with a chance. Can she get a goal? But that's a great block on the line.
What a turn from Robert, Sam. How did she see that?
Another good turn from Robert, and she got a shot away. Great save by Mendu. Cooper into Robert. Tilly James. Mayan takes a shot from long range, but that goes miles over the bar. 52.1 seconds left on the clock. We're into the last minute of the match. James to Robert.
Sam, your overall thoughts on this futsal Fern side throughout the series?
Well, obviously, as successful as this could have been for them, the first ever futsal Ferns, it was kind of stepping into the unknown a little bit. But they've come together, they've gelled very well as a team. They played some great futsal at times. Obviously, got 3 wins, which is crucial. But there's still a lot of space for them to learn and improve. And no doubt Nick Downs and Braden will have that in mind. And the future's very bright, and it'll be interesting to see where they go next.
Absolutely, Sam. I know we've said it a lot of times throughout the series, but the future is very bright for women's futsal in New Zealand. 22 seconds left on the clock. I'd imagine New Zealand will be pressing for one last goal as Robert takes it down the line and it just gets away from her. Good throw from Mendu. Good save there from Boxall on the near post. And Boxall goes for a little bit of a run herself. Great ball through to James. James slots it. What a way to finish. 2 seconds left back on the clock there. And they've managed to get themselves one last goal.
Great assist there from Michaela Boxall.
She'll be stoked with that one, Sam. Great decision, great execution of the pass. Ella James with a very tidy finish. Made some good finishing here, Sam. A lot of shots gone slightly astray, but the ones that have gone in have been looking very tidy. 0.8 seconds left.
And that's that. Game 3 of the Trans-Pacific Cup. All over here, the Futsal Ferns have completed a clean sweep. 3 victories, much closer game tonight, but final score, New Zealand 9, New Caledonia 2. Join us shortly for the post-match interviews. All right, so I'm here with the coach of the New Caledonia women's national futsal team. Another loss tonight, but a much improved performance overall.
Bien sûr, ce soir, encore une défaite, mais quelle différence dans la prestation finale des filles ce soir?
Oui, c'est certain que par rapport au premier match, elles avaient aussi la pression. C'est la première fois qu'elles rencontrent une équipe, qu'elles participent à un tournoi comme ça. Mais c'est l'aboutissement aussi de notre travail, de ce qu'on a toujours voulu. Et c'est un vrai match de préparation par rapport aux objectifs que nous avons, notamment de mettre en place un tournoi dans le Pacifique pour les féminines et aussi dans l'objectif d'une préparation pour une future Coupe du Monde féminine de FIFA de Futsal.
Yeah, so definitely tonight it was much better compared to the first two games where there was a lot of pressure because it was the first for New Caledonia's women's team performing on the international level. But for us it's about the main goal to eventually participate into international women futsal competition in the near future. So definitely happy with tonight.
What do you think was the difference tonight? What things did you do much better? Because obviously a much closer scoreline, and you guys had quite a few chances as well to score more goals.
Qu'est-ce qui a été différent ce soir par rapport aux deux autres matchs précédents, avec en plus ce soir 2 buts et quelques occasions, notamment d'en rajouter plus?
Les filles, elles ont appliqué ce qu'on leur a demandé, elles ont appliqué un système et elles ont pu, au dernier match, mieux l'appliquer par rapport au début, je pense.
What happened is compared to the first two games, the girls were really more focused and they started really to put on place what they learned over the last two games. As for us, it's the first time, obviously, so the learning is going well, and it was good to see.
And what does this mean for women's futsal in New Caledonia? And what's the picture look like going forward for you guys?
Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire maintenant pour le futur du futsal féminin en Nouvelle-Calédonie, les objectifs prochains?
Nos objectifs prochains, c'est mettre en place un championnat au niveau territorial. Et dans l'objectif aussi, comme nous savons que la prochaine Coupe du Monde aura lieu en Nouvelle-Zélande, nous espérons que la FIFA mette en place cette fameuse Coupe du Monde que nous attendons. On n'est pas les seuls, plusieurs femmes dans le monde, plusieurs pays attendent avec impatience cette Coupe du Monde. En fait. Mais c'est aussi la valorisation des femmes dans des sports généralement masculins. Et c'est ce pourquoi nous travaillons depuis plusieurs années. Valoriser ces femmes, les aider au mieux à pouvoir pratiquer leur discipline, à prendre des responsabilités, à les amener comme coach, à les amener comme arbitre également.
For us, it's the first step would be to focus on a national championship for women in New Caledonia, obviously with the aim to develop a team who will be able to compete in hopefully the next World Cup, hopefully maybe New Zealand. But overall, it's also a big step for women in a men's world, really looking for the development of women in futsal at all levels, players, coach and referees.
Well, thank you very much for your time, and hopefully we'll get to see you on these shores for another series sometime soon.
Bonne chance, on espère vous revoir.
Merci.